Preparing for a big trip, whether that is in the US or abroad, is already a big task, but to have to convince somebody like your parents that you need to go adds a little extra pressure, and it can seem impossible, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. Hello, my name is Sojourner. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I post all things travel content. Today's video is answering a question and offering tips on something that I get asked about a lot, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, people email me from my website, but it is how to convince someone like your parents to let you travel the world alone or just travel the world in general. If you are a student or a teenager or living in your parents' house in some capacity, this may be an issue that comes up for you. So the first tip to convincing someone to let you travel the world alone is doing your research and actually planning the trip. Now, this may seem a little confusing because why would you plan for a trip that you don't know if you'll be able to go on? But that is all the more reason why you should do it. Knowing the who, what, when, where, and why will not only help you become more confident in doing the trip alone, but it will also give you insight to the process of planning and researching for a trip so that you can really see if your desire to do the trip match up with the actions that it takes to get there. You have to know where you want to go, how will you navigate it solo, how you're going to get there, how much it's going to cost, where are you flying in and out of, are you taking buses, are you taking trains, where are you going to stay. All of those little things you should probably plan out before you even pitch the idea to someone who is saying you can't go on a trip. And when you're researching your trip, some examples you should include are maybe other travel bloggers or travel content creators or different articles you can find through Google of people who have traveled to a destination you want to and positives about their experience. In a way, they're kind of case studies to prove your point, prove your argument that this is a trip that is feasible and one that you can do too because someone else has already done it. And tip number one will also help with tip number two, which is convincing yourself that you can do this trip. Because you have to ask yourself, how are you going to convince someone else that you should go if you don't fully believe that you can actually do it? So this is more of a mindset and kind of an evaluation of your own personal skills. How do you know that you're ready? Is this just something that's more of an impulse that you don't really have a plan, but you're gonna do it anyway? Really do a self-evaluation and an inventory of your own skills to see, do I have the capacity and the knowledge to really do this? And doing the research first will definitely help you evaluate if you can do the trip at all. When you're convincing yourself, do not psych yourself out. A lot of times when we convince ourselves to do something, it's also easy to kind of go into the negatives and the alternatives of why we can't do something, but don't let that happen here. This step isn't meant to dissuade you from doing your own trip. It's a way to evaluate if you are actually ready to embark on this adventure. And sometimes you may realize, actually, this is a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do that yet. And so you can downsize your trip, can adjust it any way you see fit because it is essentially your experience. Plan it in a way that makes sense for you, but also will convince other people that you need to do it. Tip number three that can be embedded into your research phase is picking a destination where you may already have relatives or friends. If your parents are the people who are not allowing you to travel, they may be more likely to let you go somewhere if they know there is someone in the area, in the city, in the country perhaps, that will be in the relatively close, maybe near vicinity of you, just in case anything can happen, especially if they're worried about your safety. If it's your parents, they want to know that their child is going to be taken care of and be able to navigate a new place on their own. And sometimes picking a destination where they already know someone, you have a cousin, uncle, sister, brother in that place, will give them more comfort, which will then help you get on that trip. They know that you might be alone if you're going solo, but you won't be alone. Picking a destination where you already have relatives or friends may seem a little less exciting and boring, but if it's a stepping stone to help you get to that larger trip, it's definitely a compromise worth making. Tip number 4 that you can embed into the research phase of your trip is planning a trip around a conference or a training. And this is especially for my student travelers. One of the greatest benefits about being a student is that there are a lot of conferences. So if you are a college student, whether in undergrad or even grad school, and you're looking to travel using the guise of a conference or using the guise of a training or some leadership development opportunity in a different city or state or country is a great way to show that, hey, I'm going for this one thing, but then you can add on an extra few days to explore on your own. This is also a great way to save money when you are researching and planning your trip, because often, especially for students, there are scholarships that you can use for conferences to not only go to the conference, but also add a little trip onto the end of it. And once you've done all of your research, it is time for number 5, which is to present your information to your audience of choice. And it's really important that you present all of the facts in this presentation. And this can be a PowerPoint or a Google Slides. It can be a Word document. It can be a PDF. It could be a TikTok. It could be a reel, whatever medium that you think is important to share this information. Use that medium and create it to share what you have learned on why you should be able to go on this trip. Make sure you think of every possible question they could ask and answer it in your presentation. And when you're presenting your trip, make sure you're very confident, you're clear, you know what you're talking about. Run through it a few times, practice it with another friend perhaps, or family member who was in support of you. Also, presenting it to other people makes it really easy to get other feedback just to see if there are parts that you may have missed. After your presentation is tip number 6. Give them time to marinate, give them time to ask questions about what you presented. They may need time to review the documents you created. Trust the research that you did, trust that you answered each question, trust all the stats, the facts, the links that you embedded into your presentation. Know that you created the best possible product to convince them that this is something that you need to do. Now, the amount of time you give someone to review the documents may be depending upon when you want to take the trip, which is why you should always keep in mind of your timing and trying to find the perfect time to present a trip with enough time to plan it after it's approved, quote unquote. And don't get nervous if they don't say yes right off the bat, because that leads me to tip number 7. Be prepared to compromise and negotiate. There are many compromises and negotiations that can come out of your presentation, but I have thought of 2 simple ways you can compromise to make sure that you can go on this trip. The first situation that may arise is that they want to see you in action. So if you presented a trip and they're like, actually, we want to see how you do this on your own first, why don't you offer to plan a trip for you all? Planning a trip together also helps them see your process. So yes, you may have already done the research for this one trip, but they want to see how you do planning a trip for you, your parents, your friends. Having them be involved in the planning process helps them see you plan a trip from start to finish. Which also leads me to a second compromise that you can make, which is plan a smaller trip. So let's say you presented a nice trip that was backpacking for 3 weeks across Southeast Asia. And the people you presented to are like, actually, that's a little too much. Why don't we think of a different trip? You can always start locally or nationally to then prepare for that international trip. Instead of going for 3 weeks, why don't you go for a weekend somewhere, show them you can do that, and then that will build their trust in you to let you go on the longer trip later. And if you're thinking, I don't want to do this, locally traveling is not real travel, you can travel wherever you are. And so don't get discouraged. There are lots of places to choose from in the world. A smaller trip may also be best for you to test out your travel planning skills so that when it's time for that big, more refined trip, you have all of the tips that you need that will make you an even better traveler before. And also, it's a great compromise to meet in the middle. And tip number 8 is don't lose hope. Always be persistent. It may take a few tries for you to get on this trip, but if you are confident in your responses, if you're very affirming in how you're talking about the trip, and that you do value the opinion of the person or people who are more hesitant for you to go on it, just trust that Yes, one day you'll be able to go on this trip. If you have the means and opportunity to travel, it's going to happen for you. It's just a matter of how you're going to get there. And that is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you ever convinced someone that you deserve to travel or you needed to go on a trip. I would love to hear your stories. And if you have any other video requests, you can leave those in the comments too. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you later, travel besties. Bye. Stay curious.